Hey guys, a little different opening for today, but it's only because I literally made a mistake. No two ways about it. I have made a mistake, and that was not noticing or how do I phrase this? Basically, what happened in stream was in this stream, this thing that you should be seeing after this video is over. My batteries for my fire alarm actually was dying, and throughout the stream you could actually hear the this is gonna give me bounty. Throughout the stream, you could actually hear the fire alarm just beeping, and it was just something that I couldn't actually. I didn't actually notice it, to be honest. Like, I could hear it, but I thought it was in the hallway, and I didn't actually think that it was too bad of a problem. I thought it was something I could ignore and just deal with it after the stream. Unfortunately, there was actually some reason to be concerned. That slight beeping that beeped every minute was actually being picked up on my mic, and I didn't actually notice it until the end of the stream. So, luckily, Sims 3 does not have like any sort of complex dialogue or cutscenes or anything like that. So I really don't think that is too big of a deal for me to like turn down the audio for the game just a little bit more. Usually I decrease the audio by about -6, which is a little bit less than normal. I think I'm gonna adjust it by about -8 this time around. This will make it so my voice will come in a little bit less clearer, and it will also make it so that it will hopefully make the thing with the fire alarm thing not as audible or annoying. You'll likely still be able to hear it, but it won't be as bad. At least that's what I'm hoping. There is one issue I do have, though. I am someone, as I like to say, I'm always prioritize quality over quantity. We have no problem in cutting a stream like an hour or 2 hours short, just to, if my stream does have, is a quality stream, if audio is consistent throughout, if the gameplay is consistent throughout. If I don't do like what I'm doing here when I'm trying to find the cultist clue, trying to remember where it was because it's been a long time since I played this game. If I don't do like what I did, don't make my gameplay like too boring or anything like that, I really have no problem with streaming just a little bit with just cutting an hour off of stream if everything else is going fine. Unfortunately, the constant beeping from my fire alarm does not make the game a quality stream, in my opinion. And because of that, I thought I was dead. And because of that, I'm actually really kind of mad at myself for kind of letting this happen. So that's actually just pretty much all I wanted to address. There is a slight like audio issue. It's just kind of something outside of my control. So that's just something you can expect. For those curious, I am playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I do have plans of covering this game in the future, but I'll be playing the PS5 version. I will not be playing the one on 360 because I already got all of the achievements. So that's gonna do for this little intro thing. really do apologize once again for this whole like annoying like mishap thing. But hopefully, as long since I have taken care of it already, assuming the battery I put in that thing just wasn't a piece of shit and isn't gonna die tomorrow, we shouldn't have to worry about this for a while. But uh, just know that there is like an audio issue with the stream, and it's something outside my control. So that's gonna be do for this little intro thing. Enjoy Sims 3, where we actually made a lot of progress, but was kind of a little bit diminished by the beeping. My name is Zach, and welcome to another live stream for Sims 3 Pets, my 100% series. Hold on. I didn't have my stream muted, so, but now I know that my audio is working, so I don't need to test that. I did some looking into the architect thing, and as is often the case when I am struggling with finding information for this game, I actually could not find any particular information relating to architect. Funnily enough, I found 3 or 4 different forums with someone asking about this challenge, and no one freaking answered this question, so I guess I'd take it upon myself to try and figure this out on my own. And it's actually a good thing that I'm doing this, because this is really probably the only 100% series for Sims 3 Pets that is on YouTube as of right now, and though it isn't finished, it's actually a good thing that I am actually working on this, because one of the bonus videos, pretty much the only bonus video I'm going to be working on in this for the series, is going over how to get every single challenge for Sims 3 Pets. And yeah, architect, there's no information I found on it. Funny enough, I found like 3 different sites where it lists all the challenges you could earn for Sims 3, specifically Sims 3. Apparently the original Sims 3 has challenges as well, but Sims 3 challenges don't actually have the architect. It has something similar, like architect something, but I believe it relates to rebuilding your house, or expanding on your house, or even like building it from the ground up. I'm not really sure like what, I can't remember what that specific challenge for Sims 3 is, but that's not the same thing as this challenge architect. From what I can tell, if we go into the town map, you will need to edit every single purchasable lot, which includes this house, which we've already edited in our first household before I moved on. This house, which is now home to the Reeves family, is interesting. This is the Dungworth mansion. Initially, the Dungworth family would be living here. This is a house that we moved into, and we have edited it in this household, actually. The Branson house, which is still held by the Branson, which is surprising. This is a house that we need to buy at some point and edit, and that will actually qualify for that challenge. We also have the this house, which is currently held by the Ism family, 1109 Rocky Pine Run. This is a very small house. In fact, I'm going to be moving into and editing it when we transfer over from following Jasmine Night to following Alec Night. And this is one of the cheapest houses you can buy. It's actually kind of tied with this original house for the cheapest. Beyond that, we kind of have the mansions that we need to buy at some point. We have the Kingsley Manor, which is, I think it's like 200,000 or whatever. Not cheap, but we do need to buy that and edit that lot. And we also need to buy the Gilman house and edit this lot. Beyond that, there were 2 houses that you need to unlock in order for you to be able to buy it. One of them is the 313 Harvest Nook. This is a Goth Manor. And the Goth Manor, you can't unlock this until you progress about halfway through the Cat 9 Lives mystery. The cat focus one. And we also have this house that you can buy, 411 Legendary Lane. This house is only unlocked when you have caught at least, I think it's a certain amount of ghosts on this property. I don't know what the exact number is, but once you collect, catch X amount of ghosts, you will be able to buy this property. I am no longer sure that that this challenge tracks across save files. So this is actually, initially I was planning on ending the this Night Family line when we are finished with Alec, but I no longer think that will be possible. I think that if I want to get this challenge done, I'm gonna need to play this family for a little bit longer, which is fine by me. It'll give me more time to work on specific lifetime wishes, which is great. But yeah, in order for us to get the architect thing, as far as I can tell, you need to move in and buy each of these houses and edit the property in some way. That will allow you to get the challenge architect. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't work across save files. Again, like there is little information relating to that, so I'm just gonna have to like go from what I understand of the challenge. The other thing is I want to talk about was I kind of did a little bit more research in between streams. There is a lot of lag. I did a lot of research in between streams. I do know how Sims the Simbot operates.
Chihuahua choo-choo.
I do know how Simbots now operate, and I no longer am confused with how they work. It's just it's definitely kind of weird. It's definitely takes some adjustment period for me to get used to it. It's just there's very little separating the Simbots from an actual Sim, and I think what I was struggling with comprehending is how they differ. So. But I think I more or less figured it out. I really kind of regret like the past couple live streams for this game ending it off like 30 minutes or 45 minutes early. And I think what I was really kind of struggling with, I think what I was really kind of struggling with was trying to uh I kind of stopped streaming for like a couple of different reasons, and I think what I was struggling with was kind of getting used to the differences, I guess. But getting used to like the new schedule. But I think I more or less figured it out. I will say that our my follower goal is not actually accurate anymore. I did have someone unfollow me, so I will need to adjust that in between streams. I'm actually gonna adjust. I'm gonna adjust my audio real quick. It's a little bit too loud. There is a convention going on with Twitch. TwitchCon, I believe, is taking place right now, so I imagine that more people will be kind of focused on that event. And I do know that because of something that I was playing, I loaded into Twitch. I do know that that they are doing some sort of competitive gaming. Like I did see like competitive esports for Minecraft of all things, which really surprised me. I didn't know that Minecraft had competitive version of it. But the other thing is, The other thing is, I'm always kind of hesitant about streaming. I'm always kind of hesitant about streaming complex invention, right? I'm always kind of hesitant about streaming when there's like an event going on because in all likelihood people aren't gonna be interested in like what I'm doing. And I kind of did this a couple times whenever, say, E3 was going on because I imagine most people on Twitch will be going on to E3, going to watch E3 rather than to watch like a small streamer like me. But I'm gonna stay. I really only have one chance a week to work on this. I'm just gonna continue to work on this. So 50 complex inventions allow us to make get the master inventor thing, and we have made 18.
Lucky.
I do kind of have something I did want to talk about. This is actually something that I've been kind of a little bit annoyed with, if I'm going to be honest here. So for those of you curious, I am a student. I'm a student at university. In fact, I'm a graduate student. Going on my final semester before I get my master's degree. And I've honestly been stressing out a lot lately because there is something. What I'm working on is getting a master's in English with a focus on creative writing. And if you are focusing on literature, you're going to be like literature, for example, or English studies. You're going to be focusing on writing a thesis. But for creative writing, you're instead going to be working on a creative project. And what a creative project is drafting a. What a creative project is drafting a. Is compiling a collection of short stories or chapters that have to reach a certain page limit and drafting a critical introduction, like a 25-page maximum critical introduction, discussing what you're going to be covering. So like introducing your concept, like what inspired it, sort of what sort of things are you considering doing with this project, that kind of type of thing. And I've been actually really struggling with that. And one of the things I've been struggling with is kind of making sure it meets my professor's standards. And to talk a little bit more about my project, what I've been working on, for my creative project, I'm submitting like the first 8 or so chapters of what will be book 2 of my novel project. And to talk a little bit about my novel project, it's something I like to do every now and then. I am writing a novel series focusing on the conflict of heaven and hell, but one of the thing that I am doing is trying to do something a little bit different with this, and where I don't want to paint the demons and angels as stereotypical bad guys and good guys. I kind of want to play with expectations. So one of the things I'm constantly trying to do is trying to make some moral ambiguity within these characters, within these groups, where the reader constantly wonders if the angels are actually the good guys or if the demons are actually wholly bad. And it's a really controversial thing because I imagine there would be some Christians who will be reading this and say, oh, why is he trying to humanize a demon or whatever? The demons are bad. I'm playing with expectations, and so far for what people that have read my work, they have actually enjoyed it. They want to see more of it, so I do know that it does work as a concept. What I'm actually struggling with, if I'm going to be honest here, is trying, in relation to my critical introduction, is trying to talk about my influences in a way that I feel would be acceptable. And what I mean by that is A large source of inspiration and the reason why my series is modeled in the way it is written in the way it is because uh I'm my series is largely inspired from the anime slash manga series One Piece. And I kind of talked about this in one of my videos on YouTube, but I essentially was introduced to One Piece after I tried to commit suicide in my freshman time in college, or my second or third semester. I tried to commit suicide, and I was actually almost successful. I essentially ingested half a bottle of sleeping pills, so if I ingested a little bit more, I probably would have died. But because of the amount I took, it wasn't enough for a lethal dose. What I am, when I was introduced to One Piece, it kind of inspired me to kind of follow the career of being a writer and just kind of pursue my dreams, my ambitions. And it really kind of is what led to me creating my novel series. Well, it's called like the Dim Saga. And when I try to talk about this inspiration with my thing, I've been honestly been kind of at odds with my committee chair, who I've been slowly realizing, incorrectly actually, that he may not see the value in something like a manga or like a comic book series may have in the development of a novel project. Because one thing I've noticed as I was a student at my university is whenever I mention my enjoyment or my inspiration of One Piece, oftentimes I either get to one or two different responses. Either they are interested and want to know more, or they are completely discredit what I'm working on. And this has honestly been kind of frustrating, if I'm going to be honest here. And I really nice. It's honestly been kind of frustrating, if I'm going to be honest here, because I just kind of feel like I've been feeling like for a while, whenever I talk about my inspiration, that I'm just kind of been fighting an uphill battle, I guess. I keep on encountering people who I feel just don't uh see the value in something like that, because a lot of people, when they hear, oh, I was inspired to write a story by a comic book, cartoon Bazo Tamba, I don't know what that means. I actually don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know if that's like a different language or if that's something else, but I I I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna say yes. But I'm really kind of hoping that's like a different language, because I never seen less words like that. But uh, completely lost my train of thought. I always have a habit of just kind of getting off in a tangent and me missing like someone talking in chat. But what are you doing? But what I was talking about was I do kind of notice that there's some instructors that I encounter who just kind of discredit that type of thing. And I was actually kind of really surprised when I was honest with my committee chair that he actually did see the value in comic books and graphic novels having influence over creative writing. And it was something that I was pleasantly surprised about. So he actually encouraged me to actually go through with that, and something he also encouraged was me because I told him that I had a YouTube channel that I was planning on advertising and marketing my novel project once it's off the ground. And he actually encouraged me to talk about that in my critical introduction. So for the first time ever, I actually have a path forward for it. But it's just been something I've been struggling with for the past couple weeks, and I finally have a direction.
Lucky
It looks like whoever that was in chat left because I was at 2 viewers and now I'm at 1. From what I understand, that 1 viewer is often me, so I'm assuming that person left. I'm really kind of curious if that is a specific language. So kind of funny, there is actually a game called Tambola. I don't know if that's what he was talking about. Yeah, I don't know because this is when I googled that I got like a random like board game or something called Tambola, but I don't know if that's what he's talking about. Uh, yeah, I don't know if that's actually like a different language or not. It's definitely weird. It's not the weirdest thing I've encountered in chat. Like I believe when I first started streaming, once encountered someone that was just kind of making a bunch of random questions that I didn't know how to answer. But that's definitely up there. I didn't even see the notification for Ghost Invasion. I guess that's a good thing uh, that we checked because we can actually get a achievement now. There's actually something that I found out. Something that we could do. And we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we can actually get the achievement Smooth Criminal and also the challenge Smooth Criminal. Which is probably gonna be the only challenge we get for a while if I'm gonna be only achievement we get for a while if I'm gonna be honest here. A lot of the progress we're gonna be making for a while is probably challenge progress. I just hear someone play guitar. Are you gonna detect the ghost? The thing is, I just kind of realized is, you get the feeling that person that responded was probably a kid. That maybe it was just accessing like his older siblings or his parents' account. It's just kind of the impression I got from reading the comment. Okay, so now where we are going to go, Black Cat Beach. It is so weird in the face for that. And it's also kind of weird to know that this emboss can actually be claimed by the Reaper. Okay, so trying to get him to steal the statue. This statue is what we want. And we can only steal a maximum of 3. And I don't want the fucking bench, you stupid cat. Who's a good kitty? You just got hit by, you just got struck by a smooth criminal. Probably gonna be the only achievement we get for a while, if I'm gonna be honest here. I don't know the whole song, I just know that line. I guess I know another line. But I don't know, I can't remember the name Michael Jackson used. I don't know too many Michael Jackson songs. I know some of them, but I don't know. I probably don't know all of them. I know Smooth Criminal. I know Thriller, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much that's the 2 most popular songs Michael Jackson ever wrote. I actually really, for a longest time when I was a kid, I actually hated Michael Jackson because I thought his songs were annoying, if I'm honest here. But I actually enjoyed them a lot more now as an adult than I did as a kid. Oh, we can also get another challenge. I think. I think that's a challenge. It may also be for Sims 3. So I believe it's a dancing challenge that involves yes. Oh, we don't have it. Oh wait, maybe we do. Oh no, I may have sold it. We actually don't have it. So we're getting to going to buy electronics, audio. And when we are done, we can have Gort go in here and dance. As for you, I need you to go upstairs, use don't clean, and then use. Hey, it's crazy to me that we're already 30 minutes in. I feel like we haven't. I've been playing for a little bit less than that. Okay, well that's done. Now, all robots, as I found out, are hydrophobic. They can't tell them to go wash the dishes.
Poofa! Ouch! Nerds!
Oh, I should probably check. Still a child. No, don't wash all dishes. You're hydrophobic. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that robots, Simbots can't actually wash dishes because I'm pretty sure they'll short out. Don't quote me on that though. Just playing it safe. You are good. You are good. One thing that I was a little bit kind of surprised about, part of the reason why I had started using a YouTube channel was because I thought that would help my Twitch channel grow. Because I thought that people would see that the videos that I upload onto YouTube were live on Twitch, and that may cause them to find my channel on Twitch, but not been the case. So scrolling down about there, we have Irina, Slovian, a proposal, a character in the novel Under the Free Sun by Branislaski Finsgar. Irina is in the constellation of Hercules. I kind of hoping that we'll be able to make some significant progress today. I have yet to see any indication. 30 more complex inventions for us to be able to get the work on that challenge. But I haven't yet been able to see any indication. But child sims that are not in your household aging, I do know it can happen, but I've yet to see it happen with Emily. Huh. She only knows one known trait about her husband. That's kind of funny. I was gonna go into Clea. We're actually done with ghosts. We just need spirits and poltergeists. I have to work on that different day. I think what I want to do is to work on building my logic skill. You literally just got the job. You have not even worked your first day yet. Why are you... Really? You haven't even had your first day yet. Chill. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That's just so dumb. Literally don't work until tomorrow. Okay, let's get to work on making another invention. Gotta get you working on that somehow. Hmm. Yeah, actually gonna have things fast forwarded for now. Work from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. 10, 11, 12, 1. 6 hours. Okay, that's not bad. Another star. I like Cave. Iranian proposal named after Cave, Kave, a hero of the epic poem Shahnameh, composed by Ferdowsi. Probably butchering that pronunciation. Can I think it's passport again? I really hate how my pets just don't know how to take care of themselves. And they really only eat when they're literally starving to death. And even then they'll go to their owner and just beg for food when their bowl is full.
Poofa!
I I actually don't have anything really to work on beyond the Jasmine and Gord's career. It's something that I just realized. Because we can't work on Clea skills until nighttime. Andy's already done. We can't work on Alec until what's her name ages up. Spencer's already done as far as I'm concerned. Well, Spencer we really only got for the thing, but he is gonna be useful once we get Alec aged up. And Gort, we have to work on passively for the career. I need to figure out like what I want to work on in between because I've been kind of wasting a lot of time. There's something I can work on. Some sort of challenge I can work on. I'm not gonna work on the angler stuff, even though I kind of could, until I get someone who's a cook. Because I gotta work on fishing and cooking simultaneously. I am also, so like this skill chain, this challenge chain, I should say, and the cooking one, we're gonna be working on at once when we have a cook. This one is what we're working on right now. We can't create the masterful objects until we get this skill, this thing done with Jasmine. We can, in theory, work on the no cast allowed thing. What else could we work on? Like, we're not going to work on gardening until we get someone who's going to be a scientist. That'd be something I can... Huh. There's really nothing. There's, trying to think. So all this fishing stuff we're gonna be saving for a different career. Like all this stuff we're gonna be saving until later. I guess what we can do is get to work on some of these things. Yeah, actually, I think we can do that. And get one of the challenges done. Hey, do I not have a ghost zapper anymore? Okay, so I believe that if we go here, there you go, there's one.
Ah.
So that's actually something I could do. I didn't realize that was called Leonardo Reborn. I think that's related to an achievement. Yeah, this is actually related to an achievement, so we can actually get that done. So now we have direction. We can actually make do something a little bit useful. And while we're waiting, we can also get another achievement done, another challenge done for walking Clea to the park as Andy. So we need another pink diamond. That was weird. Like it looked like he was sleeping, but he wasn't actually sleeping.
Shabemi Zampo. Wow.
Zasim.
Really just trying to kill time. Really just trying to kill time until we work. It's getting taste and getting used to the design of this sim. I can't say I'm like pleased with it. I can't say I'm pleased with the design, but it's definitely a taste I'm getting used to. Okay, so I think that another thing that we can do is go for a walk with Clea and go to the dog park. I think that'll give us another challenge. We're finally putting these people to good use. And if he can get a pink diamond, great, I can have that cut and work on another challenge and possibly get an achievement. Well, it's a diamond, not the one I'm looking for. Hope this gives me a challenge. Nothing done.
Oh.
Okay, well, that's nothing we don't have to worry about anymore. How close am I to getting a karma power upgrade? What is that? 35 more? Is that correct? I think so. I actually ate before I started streaming for something that I don't normally do. Usually I have a cup of coffee and I don't eat until dinner, which is kind of a bad habit to get into. I don't know why. I had like a decently big lunch, I guess. I don't know why, like I'm getting kind of hungry again. Like, to clarify, I had top ramen for lunch, and I guess it's kind of like top ramen, but it's not really top ramen, but it's I had that for lunch, so you would think that I wouldn't be that hungry, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna end the stream early. I'm actually gonna try and stream the full 4 hours this time. Really, the only thing that could prevent me from streaming the full 4 hours if my freaking neighborhood gets into a power outage, my internet dies mid-stream. Knock on wood. I always feel like that whenever I talk about that stuff, even like in past and even as I'm joking, I always feel like I'm just testing luck, like I'm daring the freaking universe to make my stream die or something. Jinxing rules in gaming. It's a freaking thing. Like every single time I play multiplayer with all my friends and I say, oh wow, we're gonna win this game, we freaking lose. Every freaking time it happens. And I know the moment I say, oh, I think the stream is gonna go great, something actually happens and it ends up being the worst stream ever. Just generally how it goes. It's honestly kind of stupid if I'm gonna be honest here. As you're gonna go back home, we're gonna have Andy. Bathe him. I have the hiccups really bad.
Ah, Yoronka. Ah,
Waiting for Spencer to get over here. Are you still? Yeah. Wait, who is that? Bobby Rivas. Like a teenager sprite. Don't know how I know him. It's Trudy Kingsley. Huh. She's supposed to be a teenager, I believe, but wait, no. She's an adult? What does she have 3 traits? She's supposed to have 5. That's weird. And Carla has 4. Huh. This game just... every single time I play this game, I see new things about it, and I often get confused. Just... I'm in no way an expert on the Sims games, but I feel like that it would help me better understand this game if things were more consistent.
Nuvestin Bootsy. Aww. Not a grub.
I think we managed to get a promotion with Jasmine, or at least we may come close. You're already doing great with Alec. Pusher's on the honor roll, and Gore to about halfway there.
Oh.
For those curious, there is actually a way for you to choose traits and choose lifetime wishes for your Sims. It relies heavily on how well their child and teenager does in school, so.
Snella grub.
Danja Klubi.
See how. And I'm fine. It's been a while since we had an opportunity. I guess that's something I could work on. I'm pretty sure you have a guitar. No, you actually do not. I actually don't own a guitar at all. It must have been weird. My guitars keep on disappearing. I should have had a guitar from Alexis. Guys, again, we need a pink diamond to be able to cut it into a heart. Digging, sniff out, gem, we need a pink diamond. Don't need a pink diamond. You would think that if a dog digs a hole and then refills it, that it would be more acceptable to a sim than if a dog digs a hole and just leaves it there, because that's what most dogs do. Rainbow gem. Oh, you may get a promotion! Nice, first day. I am so proud of you, Gort. I just kind of realized, just giving an assignment to write a paper on local business. Hmm. Congratulations, Gort's impressive performance has earned him a promotion to desk jockey. A bonus of $480. Every case comes with a mountain of paperwork, and the sergeant will need some fresh coffee. Tend to the files, learn to build a stapler as a desk jockey, and the lieutenant may see about getting you a position that features a little more action. So I think I kind of interrupted myself. I was kind of distracted a little bit when I saw Daniel Rivas says coming home. I was kind of distracted by something, but I was gonna say I think Gorge is like our first real experience with the with the gotta think the law enforcement career.
Teenagey.
But that was fast. So I'm actually kind of confused a little bit because I actually know that I actually learned recently that Daniel is actually a name that can be applied to both genders. And from what I understand, is Daniel with an IA that is often directed towards females, while Daniel with an IE is typically addressed to males. And I'm pretty sure that's a male sprite. I can't tell though. Unfortunately, I really want to actually get this thing done. So we're gonna leave Daniel here and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Because I want to make sure we get this done. I think looking at the clothes, I'm pretty sure those are typically male clothes. I don't rarely see that spelling of a name. And I do know of a Daniel that is actually female, but she lives in Europe, and someone actually encountered when I was watching a live stream, believe it or not. It's one of those people that use their first and last name, or use their first name in their username. And Daniel, the way she spelled it was Daniel. So it was Daniel. So I do know that it's a name that can be both for male and female. It's just depends on how you spell it. Just personally, I never actually physically met someone a female who is named Daniel. I only met like male people. They do exist.
Vernakavdak. Woo! Hacky bobso. Zert zert. Stop. So.
Has been night inventory. Oh, you have a partner. Who's your partner? No fucking way. It's Eva Gilman. Oh, that's hilarious. I was not expecting that. She's my partner. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Wow. That's funny. Something I just realized, and I wonder if has a factor or anything. Let's actually compare two Sims. So notice a difference between Emily Eggleston and Daniel Rivas. Notice anything? Emily doesn't have a household. So what I think I am going to do, yeah, we're gonna experiment. We are going to experiment. So, for those curious, what I've been trying to work on with Alec Knight is to get a specific challenge done for getting into a romantic relationship with someone who you were best friends with as a child. I was trying to get this with Emily, but I'm beginning to think that may not be possible. So instead, Just testing things. I'm gonna work on getting Daniel to best friends. And if we can get, if he ages up before Emily, we're gonna have like a different type of relationship that people would expect. And we're really just gonna do this for the challenge because I would honestly kind of prefer to have a related child than to adopt, but I'm not opposed to adopting either way. But yeah, we're gonna experiment. This may be a little bit risque or controversial, but it's just really just to experiment. If Daniel Reeves turns to teenager before Emily, then I think it may be safe to assume there are some Sims that are universally set to child in a specific age. And I think there's another Sim that could qualify for that. Or not. I thought that the Dungworth, like the father of the Zachariah Dungworth, was an immortal Sim, but apparently she's not in my friends list anymore. How have you not leveled up a close? So did you actually finish your thing yet? Yes. Actually the first time that I actually completed this. Because last time we got this I actually failed to. No, I don't want to stay here. I don't want to go there, man. I've always wanted to learn a guitar, like real speak. I actually real talk, I should say. I used to own an acoustic guitar, and I actually did take lessons at one point, but I never kept up with the lessons, and I never actually learned how to play. So it's just been kind of like one of my big regrets, I guess. Because I've always wanted to be able to play guitar, but I never actually made a committed attempt to learn how to play. And that's something I will always want to like get back into. I actually sold my guitar since then, and it was actually a really stupid way that I sold it. Because this was actually, I tried to commit suicide 3 times in my life, and this might be a very touchy or sensitive topic for some. For those curious, for those of you wondering, oh, because people do this all the time and it really pisses me off. I am not suicidal now, but I was in the past. I cannot stress this enough. I actually had people that reported me to the police because they thought that I was suicidal. That's not the case anymore. But in the past, and freshman year of high school is when I first tried to commit suicide. And I was willing to try and sell all my personal belongings to my friends and family. I sold my desktop I had at the time. I sold my Nintendo DSi, which was a huge regret. And I sold my acoustic guitar. And I never got any of those things back, even after I got back from the psych clinic in San Francisco. But it is something that I did kind of regret, if I'm going to be honest here. Because I never bothered to learn the guitar, and what am I actually learning? Just, I've actually encountered so many people when I was a kid who, growing up, and this actually also happened to my dad, where he was at a bar back when he's still drunk, and he was at a bar and he was talking to it was one of his friends, like an old like high school friend, about the fact that I had dealing with suicidal tendencies, and I just got back from like a psych ward, essentially recovering from that. And she heard that, and she made the assumption that I was still suicidal, and she called the police to report what happened to me. I didn't actually encounter that. I was probably at school when they came over, but it was so kind of stupid that that actually happened. People, I've learned so many times in my life, people have a habit of seeing smoke and automatically assume fire. And what I mean by that is people see like a horrifying, like, people see like a horrifying, like, tragedy, like, event. Like a wild, like, boom, out of control house fire or wildfire when they see smoke, but really it could be like someone just lighting a barbecue. Something minor and something controlled. And that's just what kind of happens in real life. People see something small and make it into something big. And this really applies to a lot of things. This whole like concept of woke bullshit where people just kind of get up in arms over concepts that really don't matter. And it really kind of pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie, it really pisses me off every single time I go up and I see like a politician. It's also something that happens in America that I just get really annoyed with. Politicians, whatever they don't like in America, it's automatically woke, and they don't even have to know what it means. They just say that as woke and just have their constituents just buy into that shit. But it's just like a problem with societies today. Just people overreacting when they see something. I honestly really wish for things to be different. If I'm gonna be honest, I really wish for things to be different, for people to kind of like be better, I guess. People to actually use critical thinking skills and realize, hey, this is actually not as bad as I'm making it out to be. But people don't see that. My computer is being very loud right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and work on uh our whatever's called the skills. And actually trying to put time aside to like go down to like a local haircut place and getting my haircut because I've been long overdue and I just keep on putting it off. We're actually not gonna get anything from Ghosts because we already like got a reward from those, so we're actually gonna skip this and go to this house. Really no point in staying here. We're not gonna get any games from it. Okay, so apparently there are ghosts here. You just don't see them. Oh, I see one. For anyone curious, it's very possible that we may uh actually be done with Clea with her skills. We'll need to worry about her pretty soon if we're lucky. Dude, how are you stressed out? How's your fun level that low already? Because we literally just refilled it. We actually have a decent relationship with our partner. The unfortunate thing is, we need to increase our relationship with her. So when we're done with our work, I am probably going to use a karma power to refill Gort's things, and we're gonna invite Eva Gilman to our home. Why did he get a newspaper? Really just trying to get things ready so we can we'll make French toast this time. Because we need to get Gord's thing up, preferably before he goes to work.
A Nevazoo.
That's another thing I always want to do, but it's just never actually bothered to learn. Is I always wanted to learn how to cook. I imagine it's pretty easy. You just need to follow instructions, but I just never really made a dish more complicated than making a grilled cheese sandwich. If I'm gonna be honest here. We'll say we are 10 minutes late from the 2 hour mark or thereabouts. Because I like to end my stream at 4:50, I guess. We're gonna be streaming for another 2 hours.
Jeben Franche, Yarble Zarbs. Snash!
It is so weird. I cannot get over, like, Gort's design is just taking some getting used to. I think what's weird to me is it reminds me of like a robot from old like black and white movie, like a stereotypical robot from that era. And I don't know why it makes you feel that way. Stop. I don't know why it makes you feel that way, but it does. Like, it doesn't look like a robot that would be designed in today, like in today's movie and TV. It's just, it looks like something from like a bygone era. And I think that's really what's giving me what I think that's really been like what's confusing me lately. It's not so much that it's not so much that I don't understand like what a Simbot is, like what happened last week. Right now, it's just like his design that's throwing me off because I don't know what I was expecting from a Simbot, but I can tell you it wasn't that. Just the way it looks. I think that when we have this done, actually we're not gonna make anything. I think when we have this done, we're about ready. I think we're also going to have you work on your logic skill. Oh, 3 p.m. That's a surprise. Whenever I see Gort peeing in a toilet, I don't know if anyone ever watched. Probably a lot of people, honestly, that watched the old Transformers movie. I'm reminded of like the first movie with Sam Witwicky. I can't remember like who plays him. I want to say Shia LaBeouf, but I may be wrong. I don't know actors. I only know characters. But I remember reminded of the era of Sam Witwicky when freaking Bumblebee, like the Transformers Optimus Prime's group, were confronting like a government agent, and freaking Bumblebee peed oil or gasoline or whatever onto the guy's head, which is supposed to be resembling like a robot peeing on someone, but they use gasoline instead of urine. And every single time I see Gord peeing, I just imagine him peeing out oil or something like freaking Bumblebee from the Transformers movie. A lot of people had problem with the Michael Bay Transformers. I thought most of them were pretty good. I don't really care for the most recent ones, but I did actually kind of like most of them. Uh, the last one I watched is actually the Dino Beast one. A lot of people actually thought that was a little bit too ridiculous. But the Dino Beast was actually like a group of Transformers that was actually present in the original series. So I didn't really have too much of a problem with that. I think what I really kind of had a problem with was the movies that preceded it. Because I just kind of felt like they were dragging it on for too long, and I think probably the hardest thing for me to watch was essentially when humanity was kind of working to dismantle and essentially melt down the Transformers for their own gain. Like there was a scene in one of the movies where they melted down Ratchet, which is a character I actually liked from the games, and they just literally melted it down so they can just get access to this material that they never experienced before. And I think that's really the thing that I had the most problem with, if I'm going to be honest here. Because it's just, I didn't like the direction they were going. You didn't even bother seeing the movies that came after it. It's just... No, it wasn't the Dino Beast. I think it was like The Rise of the Fallen. I think that's the last movie I watched. Most of them, like the first three movies with Sam Witwick, you actually think was actually pretty good, but not all of them are great. Just some.
Most bagasso.
I remember when I was seeing like Spencer dig a hole. I was actually kind of reminded of when I was a kid. I got the idea from something I either saw online or like saw in a cartoon or something. But like the whole phrase like dig to China, like digging a hole like so deep or whatever. I thought you could actually do that. So I was trying to dig a hole in my backyard, trying to go to China when I was like a kid, like 5 or 10 years old. Uh, I made like a huge hole, and I eventually got to the part where I couldn't even like dig anymore with just a shovel. And eventually, my mom saw that. She kind of forced me to fill it in again. I was such a stupid kid when I was younger. I swear to God, like you could convince. I was so gullible when I was a kid that you could tell me that the moon was made out of Swiss cheese, and I probably would have believed you. That's just how gullible I was. Oh, you fucking dumbass cat! You fucking dumbass cat! Why do you neglect your needs? Why do you neglect your needs? probably overreacting, but oh my god, this happens all the time. It's really starting to bug me. Your paper wonderfully described the market industry, was so informative that the market is replacing their autobiography. That was a bit of shitty fucking autobiography if you were replacing it with a paper that is written by a 12-year-old. You must have a shitty freaking autobiography. Just saying. My fire detector, fire alarm, whatever you want to call it, its batteries are low, and it's been bugging me for a while. Like, I didn't notice it was doing this till like an hour before I started streaming. And I just didn't really have time to fix it. But when your fire alarm gets slow, like it beeps like every freaking minute. It's been really bugging me so much. I'm actually gonna put in a save. I've been kind of forgetting to do that, and I don't want to lose all my progress. I am drinking water, for those curious. I kind of noticing that lately I've been feeling a little bit lightheaded lately.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just, I've been drinking too much fluids. So I'm trying to change that. I will say I've been lately very bothered with YouTube spoilers. And really kind of one of my biggest pet peeves right now is one thing that I really have problem with. And YouTubers do this shit all the fucking time and it pisses me off. If a game literally just came out today, there will be YouTubers who have already played it, grinded the shit out of it, and beaten the game. So, what do you think they do? Oh, they just show like the final freaking moments or the final boss. Like, especially if it's a character that you interact with, that you are introduced with and are presented as an ally, and they show them as a boss at the very end of the game, and spoils the ending. And it's not even that. If a character dies, like an important character dies in the game, YouTubers will show the dead person or the dying person, and they will freaking label it as so and so dies just to try and gain views. That's one of my biggest pet peeves because it pisses me off. I got spoiled so hard on Spider-Man 2, a game that I've been looking forward to. I'm gonna finish my thought. I got spoiled for Spider-Man 2 so hard by a game I've been looking forward to for months. This fucking dipshit YouTuber spoiled the ending for me. And it affected me so much that now I'm just not as interested in playing it. That's what spoilers do. They kill your enjoyment of games because you know what to expect. For the most part, I don't have problems with people saying, "Oh, hey, you know this character dies, whatever, at the end of this game." For the most part, I don't have a problem with spoilers in my chat because I'm used to, because for the most part, it's a game that I've played before, or it's a game that I already know the ending extensively because I watched the playthrough on YouTube. Most of the games I play are old games, and most of the games are games I'm familiar with. Games that I am interested in playing that have literally just been released for about a day and are spoiled for me are games that I really are YouTubers I really have a problem with. And it's my biggest freaking pet peeve. That's why I try and avoid like using like spoiler images, spoiler titles. I'm talking about games. That's why I try and avoid talking about spoilers for certain games because I know there are gonna be people out there that are interested in that. But yeah, so I have the biggest problem. Anyway, Jasmine got to participate in a triple Alempo direct an actual thing. Education by Zach. Alempo directomy. It's an operation specifically. I just spit. It's an operation specifically for Sims, and apparently it's for when you get your Alempo dieter removed. We don't know what the fuck that is. Don't know what that is. But it's not like a real thing, so fictional game thing. Thought that was actually a real operation, I was gonna say. Only exists in Sims. I'm getting rainbow gem, I need a pink diamond. To my knowledge, I don't think that the fire alarm thing is appearing in chat, in my mic, I mean. in chat. That'd be very impressive if a sound appears in chat. I don't think, what I meant to say was, I don't think that, my fire alarm is appearing in my mic. I'm getting things I don't want. Actually pause this real quick. See where everyone stands. You're almost got a promotion. Really need to have you work on your needs. You are gonna get a raise. And you're full, so I don't need to worry about you. Cases are coming to a close, which means the paperwork is...
Kanashiki-kong? Mm-hmm.
I need you to eat. And let's go ahead and play. Got another $48 raise. Nice, not bad. Jasmine Knight, inventory. Oh, wow, I just realized we're very close to getting $1,000. I need to sell some stuff. No. Really just trying to clear my inventory space. Get rid of all this crap I don't need. Itchy nose. I can't remember, what, do I have any lifetime rewards for you? I think we were saving it for long distance friend. Can't even hear his voice, I can't even tell. I'm assuming it's a male student. Probably just gonna get Daniel Rivas to a friend, and then we're just gonna send him home. I wonder if 800,000, having like $800,000 in funds is considered rich in this family. This thing, I think it is. I think it's just really like the threshold for rich is like having like over 100 grand. If I'm gonna be honest here, I don't think it's like anything like you need to have like $1 million. Really bugs me how I don't have audio. Like I can't hear what these guys are saying. I know they're speaking Simlish, but I can't even understand them. Actually, yeah, that's a male sim. Looking at the face, yeah, that's definitely a guy. This is I never met someone named Daniel that has that spelling. It was a boy. That's why I keep on thinking that's a female, but yeah, it's clear with the clothes and the face. It's definitely a boy. I think what I think one thing I need to try and do is actually something that something that I should do at some point. In fact, I could do it now. Uh, is trying to figure out how the creative style thing works. I guess I can do that now. Whoa. That is cool. I think we also need a dishwasher. I think it's under appliances. Stop. Oh my god. That flame thing always stresses me out. Okay, so let's go into create a style. Dude, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I didn't even know you could do any of this. So you completed a challenge kitchen collage. Friendly, we will get to know. I'm actually going to take a look at something. So if we go into challenges, hey, hold on, I need to look at something. Hold on. Yeah, I was just making sure. I was just checking the wedding thing. It was not something that I'm unaware of. I was kind of concerned that the thing specifies you need to do this with someone you were best friends with. Thing that because I would kind of change things. What was I looking for? The style, the create style. Kitchen Collage is one that we just got. We also need Stylers. Design and save 20 styles. Go ahead and try this. Do what we can do. Oh my god, that looks awesome! Oh my god, if I had a couch like that then in real life, that would be really cool. Yeah, say pattern. So you may be noticing a pattern here. Black and red is my favorite color combination. I really love black and red. Probably I have two favorite colors. I should do something different. Looks like the patterns are the same. Let's say blue and black. See how this looks. Eh. That's better. Try not to do the same thing for each one. I'm having a lot of fun with this. So far we have done two designs. And they're just trying to make things match. I didn't even know I could do any of this stuff. This is so cool. Try this, and we will see how this looks. No, don't like that. Don't like that. Like that. That looks horrible. That looks horrible. Trying to find something that I guess of these That's better. Let's add the pattern. We will. Actually, make it blue to match. Oh, that looks hideous. Let's increase the brightness a little bit. Lower it. Actually, I don't like this at all. I shouldn't have been about the. Let's just make it red. That's better. So that is 3. Go into here and edit the drawer. I am gonna. Oh. Huh. No. Oh, I can only change one aspect of it, looks like. Okay, well then let's. That actually looks really cool. Go into woods. Like that. Actually better. Oh, I like that. Let's go ahead and say the style. Maybe not seeing a pattern here, and people may like it, people may not like it. What matters is that I like it. So that is 4. Go ahead and try a different fabric. Let us try you. Edit pattern. Let's make this a deep blue color. Why is this changing? Don't know what is changing. That was weird. Huh. Okay, well, save pattern. Oh, I just realized I kind of screwed up a little bit. Oh, it's fine. We're gonna get two saves, two patterns saved. Go ahead and use this wood. And say so. So that is 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and use that. Oh god, I don't like that. Oh god, no, 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 I do not like that at all. I can't fix it. Need a solid color. Why is it under metals? What's metallic? The knobs? Really just doing everything until we get the challenge done. Which will also get us an award. Oh my god, I am gonna have fun with this. No, 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 no. Do not do check of whatever that is. That's church stuff. I used to have a sweater thingy that had a pattern just like that I used to wear to church. Hated it so much. Always felt like a dork. But I actually wore that to, oh, I can't remember. I want to say a funeral. No, it wasn't a funeral, it was something else. Did not like it. I used to wear that when I was a kid, like maybe like 12 years old or something. It's not really a big fan of it. There's a lot of problems that I had with clothes at the time. It wasn't so much, I guess it was just kind of more like I had a problem with, it's just, I was didn't really have a style then, and I just kind of wore what my family got me, because I think I like, and I just wore like cargo shorts and t-shirts, and I always just whenever I saw pictures of myself, I always felt like I looked like a tool. I'm not really a big cargo shorts guy today. I don't like it. And I'm not like harping on anyone who does like it. It's not for me. Oh my god. Oh, I wish I had a toilet like that. Yeah, we're going with that. That looks awesome. What else you got for me? Imagine you must be close. God, I wish I had a toilet like that. It's just not hard to do, you just need to paint it. Actually do something other than red for once. I really like that texture for red though. You know what? I actually kind of like the look of that. That's supposed to be marble? I don't actually know. I'm actually getting close to getting the Krita style challenge, so then I don't have to worry about that anymore. I just want. Yeah. And we're gonna change you to black, like my soul. Every now and then I make a comment like that, and a lot of people just kind of brush it off, just say it's whatever. But the reason why I say that is this is something that I honestly just probably shouldn't admit, but for the longest time, like I always just kind of felt down at myself. Like when I was still religious, well, when I was religious, I left my religion because I was convinced that and something that I did in my past was so bad, and I'm trying to be vague because it's not like a good place to talk about this on stream, especially considering how my class reacted to this when I told the story. But uh, I thought that what I did was so bad when I was a kid that God couldn't forgive me, so I left church. And every now and then, whenever I meet like uh, someone I'm close to, really, I used to say something like, "Oh, well, someone that I'm close to. It's like I said this to one of my best friends in high school, who was kind of like a troublemaker. His dad was a convicted felon. In fact, he was just released from jail when he started high school. Uh, and his mom has had issues with essentially, like, when I met him and when she was dating someone who was a drug abuser. So he definitely had like a rough household. He definitely had like a bad upbringing, but that looks horrible. But he was overall like a good guy, and uh, I was at the time I was still like very crossed, I guess. Still like confused over like something that happened when I was a little kid. And so something I said to him is something that I often say to people I meet, like rambling on the street. After I've been talking to them for a while, I don't say this anymore, but I used to say, "You're not going where I'm going." And usually when someone says that, they're saying, "Oh, you're not going to hell. You're not going to heaven. I'm. You're going to hell, and I'm going to heaven." I mean the opposite. I mean the person that I'm talking to is going to heaven, and I'm going to hell. And I used to say this to my friends or to people I talk to on the street, and it was really kind of because of my personal like mistake that I just couldn't forgive myself over, and I'm just beginning to forgive myself over now. But it was just like really stupid, if I'm gonna be honest here. I used to say that stuff all the time, and I used to have I used to kind of like be down on myself, I guess. I don't know what the word is, but uh, just kind of wonder to respond to them. I can't remember what started that conversation. That's one thing that I always just kind of get really kind of annoyed with now is like I'll be talking about something in stream, and then I'll immediately forget what really led to that conversation. Really trying to think about what it was I was talking about before. One thing that'll be kind of helpful. Like eventually, like I'm just kind of waiting for the time when my channel takes off. I would I would love to be able to like I think that one thing would be helpful is if I were to get an active chat, it could just help me remember what the fuck I was talking about. Like when I went off tangent, it's just oh god, it bugs me so much. I imagine it must be close. Like maybe one or two away. Oh, wait. I thought I remember that. Oh, I remember. I remember now. I made a comment about thing like being black like my soul. That's what started it. I remember. I actually really like that a lot for chest tables. I'm actually gonna keep that. How many have I done? Like seriously, I should be close by now. You know what? In some weird way, I kind of like the look of that. Can I actually style my time machine? Gonna make this red and black. Just trying to give it some flair. God, how many more do I need? Enough things to do styles on. See, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, actually no, 13, but 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I actually have it, so I think I just need to just leave. What? I have more than 20. But I didn't get it. Ew. Wait a minute. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Okay, well then. You stop and go over here. Going to build and buy mode, and we're doing 3 more. Oh, I think I may need to edit the pattern. I think that's what's wrong. So that should be 18. Just saving these, I think, should do it. Still didn't get it. Okay. Edit pattern. Still nothing. What am I missing? I haven't gone up once. I got. That's a weird phrase. I have to have gone up, made it go up once. That's better English. Yeah, so I imagine that if I go into build and buy and work on this, maybe it has a problem with unique things. I think that's what it is. Still nothing. There you go. We got it. Mission accomplished, chaps. Can't tell you where I heard that from, but I can tell you I've heard somewhere. We're gonna get an achievement. Bada bing, bada boom.
Whip
Ah, let's save. I think the fire alarm is actually coming up in the mic, so hopefully it wasn't too annoying. I was actually just watching the mic when that thing, when the thing went off. I can't tell if it's the one in my bedroom or the one in the hallway. I think it's actually the one in my bedroom. I'm probably gonna replace the batteries in between streams. Make sure they take dubwise. Clearly just said no. To the person I'm trying to... well, it's not guaranteed it works, but... 3 cups of coffee and $2 later, you and your boss may have to finish the paperwork for good. Big bit of police work you just did, and the boss is wholeheartedly thanks you for that. Really would like to get into friendly before he leaves because he's probably gonna head home soon. Yeah, if it's coming up in the mic, which I suspect it is, it's been going on for 3 hours, and I really, really do apologize. There's actually one thing that I can do to try and mitigate this, and that's by lowering the sensitivity of my mic. So let's see if it still picks it up when we turn it down quite a bit. I'm actually gonna wait a little bit for it to come up again. I did not catch that. Still coming up in the mic. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Trying to think what I should do. I am hesitant to end the stream early to just replace the batteries. Because I don't even know how to get the top off that thing, and I don't want to waste a lot of time. But I feel like that it's just, now that I know what's coming up in my stream, I get a feeling it may be disruptive, so. I think we're gonna end things off here because I want to do that. It's coming up in my mic, and it's been coming up in my mic for a while now, and I only just noticed it just now. Oh my god, it's fucking stream. That person that said that gibberish sentence, I actually wonder if he was trying to ask a question about the smoke detector and I didn't understand him. Try and lower the sensitivity once again. Still comes up. If I turn it any lower, it won't register my voice at all. I need to take care of this. It's better I take care of it now than forget about it and have turning up sensitivity. I think I'm gonna take care of this now. It's better to take care of it now than to leave this be a recurring issue for future streams. I just need help because I'm pretty sure I can't reach this with the step stool that's already outside my bedroom door. So, yeah. Unfortunately, this is yet another stream 3 weeks in a fucking row where we are unable to get this stream for 4 hours, but this time I actually have a good excuse. Something outside of my control is actually disrupting my stream, and I need to take care of it. So, I guess before we head off, there is one thing I do want to show off, which is this right here. We got 2 achievements done today. Consider that to be like the second to last achievements, probably the last achievements we're gonna get for a while. That being said, next time, assuming no bullshit comes up, we will be streaming this full 4 hours, but just again, bullshit comes up and I can't do it. If you are remotely interested in what you see today, all the games I cover on my channel will be for 100% completion. I'm going to be streaming Sims 3 Past Yet again next Friday, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be streaming Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be streaming Stardew Valley for 100% completion on Sundays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in games you play for 100% completion, know that not only stream for 100% in-game statistics, but 100% in achievements as well. It's gonna be really fun to edit. We made a lot of progress today. We got 2 achievements done, we got a shit ton of challenges done, and I think that's a good enough spot to end it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.